so long on line. It's like one meeting. Joel.
Joel's not going to be this there. It's not going to be today.
Ah.
Just the message to me earlier today.
Huh?
You
Did we skip one?
Sarah, what's the date on the pumpkin festival?
October 11th.
October 11th.
37, right? Sarah, I'm out of town. Nobody got this.
Yeah.
Huh?
You're the best trained.
I know. But actually, that's going to be really bad if I'm down. So I was at the hockey tournament. I could look it up. Send them without mom. Send them without me. Sorry. That means I got time to start running the facilities. Or I don't start yet. No.
They've still got a while.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sarah, it's right here.
What?
October 11th.
We're dedicated to Gene, but not me.
That's right. Okay. My actual name.
Very good, Gene. 6:03, call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Vote. Nat Bittner,
Here.
Hopkins.
Here.
Trantham.
Here.
Sharon. Here. Kyle Bittner.
Here.
Riley.
Here.
Most.
Here.
Petitions by citizens on non-agenda items. No takers? City clerk, 8/11/25 utility meeting minutes. They have a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Kyle, in a second.
I'll second.
Tina? If you had an opportunity to peruse them, ask for any changes, updates, or additions to Michelle's, oh wait a minute. Yeah, it was yours. Michelle's minutes. Did you do the minutes for Vice City Council? Or Will?
Tina did, Tammy did the city council meeting already for last Monday, and finance and the ordinance are included tonight, and Tammy also did those, so thanks to her for having those things so expeditiously. Wiley? Most?
Yes.
Hopkins?
Yes.
Matt Bittner?
Yes.
Trantham?
Yes.
Sharon?
Yes.
Motion passed. I'll have a gavel. Number 4, subdivision and zoning administrator department report.
All right. In August, we had a fairly busy month with 19 permits issued. 4 of them were residential, 9 accessory, 5 sign, and 1 commercial. We had 2 on Waymaker, both in the 2,000 square foot range. 1 in Rimlock at 8,900 square foot, and then a new duplex coming in on Station Crossing.
That's yours.
My house.
That does include a pool. They're building a pool with the house.
But the pool doesn't count for square footage.
It does.
It does.
The pool itself does, the concrete around it does not. So, because we issue permits for pools too.
Right.
How big
But
is
the
it?
8,900 square foot house, and that's house and pool?
Garage, house, pool, basement, there's no upstairs.
Okay. I didn't know that.
How big is it?
Roberta, is there a building permit for on Oliver's Way coming that you know of?
I feel like I may have done one last month, I'd have to double check. But it sounds familiar, Oliver's Way.
I was just curious who the contractor was, if you know.
Not off the top of my head, I'll look into it though. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 accessory permits, a shed, porch, well, 1, 2, 3, 4 sheds, 5 sheds, a porch, an in-ground pool, and a deck. Nothing crazy. We had 5 sign permits come in. 1 for Pizza Hut. The Coffee Girls sign variance went through from the zoning board last meeting, so their permit was approved as well. Salt of the Earth Wellness, Geno's, and Iron Crafters is getting a sign as well.
Roberta, quick
Yeah.
question on sign permits. When those, so we've had a couple variances that we've had to go through on signs. Does that mean that the sign companies don't look up the permits or what's required ahead of time? They ignore it, and thus they just put up signs and are hoping for a variance? What's the process flow on this?
Typically, the sign companies know. This one, they knew, but the business went very fast. So it all got done a lot faster than, like, a
So
lot
they-
of, like, I think at Summit Signs, we usually don't have any issues with them. But some of the, if they use a random one, they don't typically know.
So to get a sign permit, do they do that before or after they
They
commission a sign?
They should do the permit before the installation of the sign. Some people like to do and ask for forgiveness, and then we make them go through the variance process and then get approval that way, or they have to take it down.
So the process then would be, if I'm putting up a business somewhere where there's a sign restriction, I go and get a sign made, then the sign company asks for the permit.
Yes, because what they're doing, they should not. They should send me their drawing and their rough draft and what they're wanting first. I can approve it one way or the other, and then they get the sign made.
Then they get the sign.
Is how
So
it
they're
should be
basically
done.
not adhering to the process.
Correct.
But most are.
Most are, yes.
I mean,
It's not,
most people are, and I would say the people that don't, it's not malice, it's ignorance.
yes.
You know,
I
they're
don't
doing
think
it because
anyone's-
they just didn't do enough homework or whatever. It's not that they're
it's nothing
maliciously
malicious.
doing it to try to put us in a corner. It's just because they made a mistake.
Right, I get that, but I mean, if you put in for a sign permit, that should have the specifications to it. You know what size you have to work with.
A lot of them don't understand the equation that goes with it,
Right.
which is 1 square foot per linear street frontage that you have. So then they just get confused and just nobody, I haven't had anyone maliciously not get a permit. Usually it's, the structure's already there and they just put the faceplate in, so they didn't think they would need a sign for it, or nothing crazy. This one, it was just stuck out too far, so there was a balcony in the way, so it made sense. But to follow the process, we may have them go through variance. I had one commercial permit. Apex is expanding. They just moved into the Emos complex, and they're taking over the front half of the building to the right. Our pool guy is taking back over L&M pools, and he's just taking over the front, which I think was the Cax business before. So
It was.
right now, we do have a planning commission meeting tonight. Remla Phase 7. We're working on the annexation of that parcel to be brought in so they can develop it. We've seen a sketch plat once, but nothing's set in stone yet. We're just trying to get it annexed in. There is no September zoning board of appeals meeting. It is looking like we will have one for October though, because I did get a signed variance permit from Joanne Meyer for the Parrot Perch. So that one is in process as well. So far for permits, I've got 2 residential, 2 excavation, and 1 accessory. Quail Ridge, I don't have any updates. I don't think Nate has anything on Quail Ridge. Remington Ridge, I think I left my notes back there. They went through their pressure testing, and all their manholes passed the pressure testing stage. They did have a few laterals and things they needed to fix, but they are in process of fixing those so that they can retest. I dropped a packet on the table for everybody on what we discussed at last week's ordinance meeting for proposed substances that we might allow or might not allow. I included 6 different municipalities and what they are allowing or not allowing when it comes to kratom. 5 of them do not allow it. 1 of them has an age restriction on it. I feel that it is just a preference. I don't think it, I talked to Dane about it. I don't think it's a major problem right now. It could be in the future. This front page is what the business would like to sell. Obviously, they cannot sell anything with cannabis in it. If we would like to add kratom to that list, I need to let them know so they can get their products started. But it's really just what we want, how direction we want to go.
I assume kids aren't allowed to buy this now. You said something.
They're not supposed to be.
It's either people are or it's not.
It is not currently illegal in the state of Illinois.
So a kid,
Kratom is not illegal in the state of Illinois, but technically cannabis isn't either. But we don't allow that, so it's really
no,
just
I
a
said,
preference.
but kids. Is kratom, is it 18 and over?
Yes.
Okay.
I still really don't understand what kratom is. I don't like.
A couple of municipalities kind of describe it a little bit more. I honestly didn't know what it was until they asked, and I had to read a bit more.
Did you include that on here?
The definition of it?
Yes.
I did not. Some of them have it within, but product material mixture or preparation containing any quantity of the following substances have stimulant effect on the central nervous system.
Chief,
Yes, sir.
kratom something we should be selling in Norwood?
In all honesty, I'm not that familiar with it. I know us as a department have had very little, any interaction of it.
We had like 2 interactions with it in like a week.
And that's when someone stole some.
Well, and then we had another person that used it, had a reaction. But
So what were the interactions?
There was a theft, someone broke into the vape shop that knew somebody. And you said there was a
I think we had a medical.
someone had a bad interaction with it.
Okay.
Or with it.
So
is the vape shop already sold?
But I think our city
The
ordinance
current
is
one
21.
apparently is.
Okay.
That's why now this one asked and brought it to our attention.
It's just 18.
So that's why it's being put under the ordinance.
In general, because I was one that wasn't understanding, I mean, if it's legal in the state, and you have to be over 18, and you look at other things that are on this list that we allow to sell, I'm not sure why it's the city council's job to regulate this stuff.
I don't think you can be more restrictive than the state.
Well, we are.
But we are. It's legal in the
Cannabis.
state. And
We are, we're not more restrictive in the state like on cannabis, because we chose an ordinance to not have a dispensary in the city limits. That was a choice that the state gave every municipality. It's still legal, it's still legal, but it's not legal to sell that.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Either way, so you're saying we have the choice to either ban this, but it is legal in the state.
I think you have an opportunity to ban it, but again, if we are not having adverse interactions with kids or whoever is using it, I'm not sure.
Well, and again, it is illegal for kids.
True.
I mean, so if kids are getting it, we need to figure out if it's anything that's, that would be any type of thing, cigarettes, anything.
Okay.
Well, here's my question, because I don't know enough creative. What does it do? Just get you high? What is it? Like,
My understanding, yes. It
okay.
just affects your central nervous system.
I mean, like anything, there's claims of potential medicinal uses that are unproven.
Follows that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was when I Googled it, that was the little Google AI summary that came up, so
There you go.
all that too. Generally speaking, I don't love us going down the list of our retailers and saying what you can and can't sell. I feel like, okay, do we have to go to Walmart and see what they're selling, if there's anything that's scary there? It is legal in the state. It's legal in other municipalities. Like, apparently it is in town already at a vape shop. We didn't even really know what was going on, so it doesn't seem like that big a deal in my opinion.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that I think it's healthy. I don't know. Never heard of the thing. But I just don't think, as elected officials, personally, for something that's legal in the state, that that's our job to legislate that.
Right, to do a pick and choose on certain items.
Yeah, I don't have any interest in it personally. But that's one vote.
And maybe we don't have enough interaction to make a decision on one way or the other. And
Yeah,
that's
if it's
probably,
turned into a thing, obviously let us know.
and that would be on the positive side, that we don't actually have those interactions. You have a legal opinion on Kratom?
I don't. I anticipate that eventually it will be illegal, but it's not yet. So
Okay.
I tend to fall in line with Kyle that if it's
So
legal
if
in
it-
the state, I don't know that
Right.
we can make
Right.
that determination at a city level.
So if the state makes it illegal, obviously it will be illegal for us also.
Correct.
Okay. I think that probably answers our question, unless there's other discussion on it. I think we're all in agreement, Simon.
That is all I have for you.
Thank you. Deputy Director? Our meeting has a- May not be. No.
We'll trust those ball guys.
Okay. Yeah, he was.
Want to start off by talking about West 3rd Street. We have bids out, bid packet out for the handrails for the residents that qualified that we need to put railings up. I have 4 different contractors that I've sent emails out to. They are receptive. I met with 2 of the contractors today, went over a few things. I'll put a small addendum to the bids. There's a couple conflicting items that I wanted to clarify. nothing big. We're looking at a bid opening on September 11th at 2 p.m. And if everything goes well, we'll put it on the council agenda next Monday. Looking at a deadline of mid-November to finish. And that should really take care of West 3rd Street items that we need to do to complete the project.
Mid-November installed?
Yeah. I did like a 2-month period window for fabrication and installation.
Did we have to dig up 3rd Street for a water leak?
We did.
That was after it was paved?
Yeah.
I just had somebody ask me, and I didn't know that. They brought it up.
So with the handrail job, I've been talking to all these homeowners, and then one evening, one of them messaged me and said, "Hey, the street's wet." And I had him send me a picture, and there was water like on the high spot of the street, the crown of the street. And we looked at it with Underground and JR, and we made plans for the following day to fix it. And that next evening, a different neighbor messaged me talking about a speed hump in the street. And what happened was, hydraulically speaking, the water built pressure about 2-3 houses down and bubbled the street up. Once we fixed it that evening, and the belly went back down. So, JR, are you going to talk about it any?
Just gonna briefly say that we had a leak on there, but
Yeah. It was a flare fitting. The flare.
Okay.
So, and then it's all fixed. We tried something new. We poured some concrete back to build a base, and then the asphalt for the walking trail, we used the leftovers and filled it in. So it looks like it'll match pretty good. So
And the cutout that's there now?
it's filled in. Oh, there's a cutout now by the Gallagher house. When the paving machine went off the concrete, they broke a big chunk off, and so that's part of the contractor's responsibility to fix that. So that'll be put concrete back in.
Is there 2 spots?
One now.
One right in front of the Gallagher house.
Yeah. I thought there was another one.
The other one's been repaired.
Yep.
A little bit more west.
Any questions? If anyone wants to look at a packet for the handrail bid, I got it right here. If anyone wants to take a look at it, or you want to email, so on and so forth. Yes, sir.
You were kind enough to go out with me and take a look at Natalie Estates a while ago, and you talked about how the issue that was brought to us was really a homeowner issue, but there was another concern of erosion. Just didn't know if that's still on the radar, if that's something that's being taken care of, or...
The latest that Roberta and I visited last Friday, a house just south of their house, and the plane was some holes around the manhole. It wasn't in the beaten path of the pipe itself. I told him, I opened up the lid, investigated inside. I mean, everything looked perfect. He wasn't happy with that answer. Earlier that day, I emailed him the video footage from the sewer department showing there's no deficiency. He wasn't happy with that. So I told him, put the garden hose in that hole and let's see where it comes out. We waited, Roberta, 20 minutes, 25 minutes?
At least.
No water came in the manhole. So I told him it's settling still from the insulation as far as I'm concerned.
And my question was more in reference to that.
So the one that you're talking about?
Yeah, further up where it was the runoff pool feeds through, and that caused you a little concern because it was so deep.
Yeah, my newest concern is none of the neighbors are mowing the detention area. I noticed that when I was there Friday. So I couldn't even see that spot anymore because it's 6 foot weeds. None of the neighbors are mowing their property. So I was going to get with Mark and see if we can tackle that problem. It could be a situation where the neighbors might not quite understand how much they own back there.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Probably
it's a big detention area, and it's not really easy grades to work with. So, but they are in charge of keeping it clean and mowed. They've not, it'll just turn into a forest. We don't need that. But I can't see anything back there, period. So. Okay. Back on my next topic. Briefly want to talk about water samples. As you know, we're in the third quarter of sampling. We have our IEPA sample demand letter. So the VOC, SOC, nitrate, nitrite, and the DBP, we all have our analytical results on. So we're doing great as far as the third quarter. I'm still waiting on one test, the radionuclide test. That's like a 30-day window because they have to send it off to a third party. What I'm showing is we should get analytical results sometime this week on that. So I emailed the laboratory and said, hey, do you have any updates on this? That was at the end of the day today. So I'm pretty happy with everything. Seems like we'll have a pretty great end of third quarter and a roll in the fourth quarter here shortly. The one thing I had to have CERTOP take a resample of the fluoride. Pace Laboratory, they gave us an analytical result of the fluoride from the second quarter, and it was out of whack of all of our normal fluoride rates. And I called them, I said, hey, something doesn't make sense here. It's way out of whack. So they sent us a bottle to resample that again. So if you don't know, fluoride is regulated by IDPH, not Illinois EPA. So it's not a demand sample like others are. So, however, it's still regulated, and we want to make sure that we have consistency. So that was just sent off today. So we'll get results back probably within a few days. It's a pretty quick turnaround. So just wanted to get that clarified. So lead copper. We are in our second half of the year. We have to do our 60 sample sites. We did it last May, was the majority of it, or May to June. We're going to do it again, send out letters to the homeowners, the same 60. I'm trying to get those letters out this week, and then have the underground department drop off bottles next week. So we'll get that program rolling again. Now that we're in a bit of a groove, hopefully we get them back a little bit quicker than last time. So there's usually a handful that kind of struggle with communication-wise, or no one lives in the house, and so on and so forth. Analytically speaking, from the last set of results, everything was great. I had one sample site that was higher than the regulated amount, and that's because the house hasn't been lived in about 2 years. So that lead, that water sitting in there never was really flushed properly. Owner of the property said he'd do a better job flushing the lines and then letting it sit this time rather than just pull some samples. So we'll go with those things. Like I said, I'm happy with samples right now. Seems to be going well.
That's it.
Yep. That's all I have.
Questions? Thank you.
They are on a roll.
Plenty of time. All right. A little bit of a sinus issue going on, so bear with me here. Okay, so excuse me. I'll pick up where kind of Nathan left off regarding the water treatment facilities. We forgot to mention, and I'm not throwing you under the bus, us, but EPA did come down and do a site visit August 27th. They visited the water plant and all our other water facilities, the wells. They were
Did you
happy.
know they were coming? Or was
We
that?
knew a couple days beforehand.
Oh, they didn't give you a
They
notice.
contacted CERTOP, let them know that they were coming. CERTOP let us know that they were coming, so we did meet them down at the water plant. The gentleman, inspector, was happy with everything where we were at. We do have to get a few pumps, extra chemical pumps on hand. That it's kind of ironic that the EPA won't let you have spare parts in the EPA loan, but they want you to have extra parts to operate the facility, which makes sense. So we're working on getting those. We do have some contingency backup plans if we had any issues. But the inspector visited the wells, took a sample of the water, chlorine, and everything seemed to be pretty happy with. Followed up with some follow-up items that he had. But other than that, that was good. So that's good news. The water hardness operating about 185 milligrams per liter. That was for August. The operating log for August is on our website. If anybody wants to look at that information, here's just a snip of it. The wells, we are continuing to operate on wells 2 and 3. We did find out some good news on well 1 today. That we're hoping to be able to resolve the issue with the iron content. We have high iron in there. Hopefully we'll have that up and running in the next 2 weeks, we anticipate. I say up and running, flushed out, cleaned out, and then have it online probably in the next 3 weeks. So that's good. Yesterday we did have an issue with the farming around our wells. It's the Valmeyer fire. If you saw it in the Republic Times, they did have an issue harvesting. So Nathan ran down there yesterday afternoon and just made sure everything was okay. So they had harvesting issues. So good news that that's not a major issue there. So we are working on the operating cost analysis. I have pretty good numbers of where we're at today. I went over with the mayor last week or the week before, and he finalized it with Sarah Craig and Nathan just to make sure we've got everything covered. But I'm very happy with where we're operating and the cost of it and the cost savings that ultimately we'll have for the citizens of Waterloo. Just kind of a brief update on the service line leaks. We are seeing additional service line leaks. We'll have a few, and then there'll be none, and then a few, then there'll be none. Predominantly in the newer subdivisions, as noted last meeting, in newer areas, not just in the older parts of town. But again, you hear about the settlement in Valley Estates, his fittings, the copper, all those things. We did have the one in 3rd Street that was addressed. That's a fairly new one. That's a new water main that we installed. It was run with the flare fittings. Meeting and communicating with residents. Folks call, email. So we're meeting with them, addressing those, their concerns. A lot of times it's, thanks for the information. We offered to sample the water. And I think we just had one person take us up on that. So continue to do outreach and research, make sure that everything's in compliance, meeting with the engineers, AOP and HMG, and then other municipalities and other professionals in the industry, doing some additional testing, making sure we're turning every stone, making sure there's not something that's, addressing the citizens' concerns, and then continue to do that research, make sure everything's kosher, which we believe they are. And then we're working on making revision construction details. Hopefully that'll be out fairly soon on the material types and then the parts required for that. Working with one of our suppliers on serial numbers or part materials. So, anybody have any questions on water treatment?
Just to follow up on one item from last time, we talked about the copper and some of that, maybe adding that to the rack.
Yes, so there is copper. We do have the copper fittings, copper in the rack, the lead. All that is in the rack down there at the water plant. Nathan and I looked at it when the EPA was down and there's no leaks, the water's running through it. So that was its corrosion and protection plan that's been submitted to the EPA. We're hoping to hear back on what the next steps are on that. Everything seemed to be okay according to HMG. take that document, pare it down, and provide it to any residents that would like to look at it. So it's not a 50-page report, just itemizing what the corrosion protection plan is.
JR,
Sir?
you mentioned, what was it, 185 on the water?
Yes, sir.
Remind me again, what's acceptable with the EPA? On the hardness?
So EPA doesn't monitor hardness. There's not a requirement. It's just something that we have reached, obviously, with Illinois American. The prior service provider was 210,
It was
220.
210? Thank you.
In that slide there, so we try to run somewhere between 180 and 190, which is considerably lower than what we received from Illinois American, from what we could tell, for 30 years. In looking at what is acceptable hardness and throughout the United States, the statistics are that 85% of the households in the United States have hard water. The only actual general area that does not would be actually the northern states that basically have less rock formation that doesn't actually seep through like the rock in order for it to dissolve.
So, and one last point to reiterate, Nathan, on the sampling, we're really getting in the groove, standard operating procedure on getting that finalized. We're ahead of the curve, or ahead of the game on the next round of samples.
I have a question, JR.
Yes, sir.
Have we ever figured out the exact cause of all the leaks? Are there that we think it's could be the heat, a lot of the moisture we had previously, and the settling? Is there even one cause we found why we had all these fittings that were failing?
We don't. All we know is that the majority of them are in the flared fittings. Plumber heard the other day had one that was a root ball from a tree that hit one of the flare fittings, so it hit it just enough to knock it out of place. So the flare fitting was leaking at that point from the movement.
Yeah.
I really truly think a lot of it's around the settlement. The soils, the clay, the fat clays around here that saturate and then dry out. So.
And then Stan, for you, what you said like 85% of the U.S. has hard water. What is considered hard, like on the scale? Like we're about 185-ish.
Okay, actually, hard water is a much lower number than I thought. Hard water basically, what's acceptable is about 120 to 185 in that category is hard water.
Okay.
And when you go above 185, 190, it's extremely hard. So the water that we were receiving from Illinois American would be in the extremely hard category. But we are improving on that quite a bit. I think the biggest issue is that we could actually have we can lower the hardness, but when you do that, the best way I can describe that is the softer your water gets, it begins to feel slimy. Mm-hmm. So if you're taking a shower and you have soap on you, it's very difficult to get off. Whereas because there's so much soap, there's so much suds. Harder your water is, doesn't really interact well with soap, so you have less of that, but it's actually easier to get off of you. There's really not an upside to having water softer than 180. And since the vast majority of the population of the United States has hard water, all of the soap, all of the soap that you use on anything actually counteracts that in order to like a surfactant that they put in that in order to counteract the hard water, in order to make it work like it's supposed to.
Let's see.
I think a lot of it, where we're at, is probably a preference.
Yeah.
You're used to something. It's more of a preference at that point.
For sure.
We're monitoring that. The lower we go, the more it costs to reduce the hardness overall. So.
Right.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Some updates on the roadway projects. Working through the property owners on Villa Court. I did talk to Kyle when they had the have the south winds or south, can work with those simultaneously, keep those moving together. Reviewing the utility conflicts on 4th Street, the underground crew is having a hard time trying to get out there, so we're not in conflict during construction. We're going to do some potholing before we get construction to hold up some time there. Reviewing drainage on Flower Street, H Road, we're sending out coordination letters to property owners, schools, businesses in the general area that are impacted. So working through that. We did receive final approval today from East Coast Gateway on Lakeview Drive, so we'll move forward on the next stages of that project. Turbine 14, hopefully the turbine will be delivered next week is the plan. I believe it's supposed to be starting to be shipped tomorrow. Here's just some of the conduits that are in the ground there.
Are we doing that?
A contractor is Limbaugh is. Limbaugh and JF Electric. So here's another photograph. This is the foundation, a lot of rebar, conduits. And then here's the shared use path along Route 3 that was paved last Friday. It is open to traffic. Brief update on the intermittent power outage that we were having on the South Circuit. We do have a short-term solution until we get the trimming company in here. We put a fuse section in at Mark Drive. So that's where our problematic area issue is. If we have some more issues in that general area, just those folks would be out instead of the entire South Circuit as we were seeing. That was a short-term solution. And then doing some balanced loads, as you saw some short-term power outages, and we were moving some of the phases around in some subdivisions in the area. So next, Spectrum easement, Lakeview Park. There's an existing Spectrum line that they're replacing through there. I'll have an easement with an ordinance hopefully in the near future. Got that finalized. So briefly talk about this, Mayor. IT, we're probably looking to go into managed services. I don't know if you're going to talk about this tonight. I don't want to steal your thunder, but it just came through this afternoon, and I was finalizing this. So
I didn't have an opportunity to look at this afternoon. You can review it. We reviewed it with Regis last week for quite some time. They gave us a single option, but I'll let you in.
And then we'll transition to Outlook Office 365 for our email exchange server because Microsoft is no longer after October going to be supporting on-premise servers for that. So look at doing that in the near future. And then I put this on here because a lot of our folks are migrating more of my team to utilizing some of the email related items. So that'll help segue into managing some of our IT related tasks. So in our annual gas meeting, we have planned for October 20th. That would be up here before City Council. It's about an hour long where they come in and everybody in this room is supposed to attend along with others as well. So just kind of heads up there. Any questions, comments? Try to make this as short as possible. Anything else? Anybody?
Actually, what's driving the IT changes are what is required is what's no longer allowed in software licensing and what they're actually doing. So you could buy Office forever. We got it on a computer, and they're no longer able to do that anymore. Everyone's being pushed into Office 365. So approximately a year ago, mine just came due at home, so they're no longer offering that. So in order to do that, we need to be in the managed service so that they can handle that remotely.
In long term on that, probably a minor cost savings, but a net zero overall.
Right.
On Mark Drive, you mentioned that fuse situation.
Mm-hmm.
Are we still talking about tree trimming?
Yes. It'll be on City Council.
Are you having conversations with
Yes, I'll have a contract on
that
City
company?
Council. I'll have a contract on City Council next Monday. Is the plan. We're just going through some insurance requirements, and I got that finalized today. So, yep, and we will have it in the newsletter, the next mayor's newsletter. That Schweitzer Deutsch.
Yep.
As far as, we put a picture up, it's on our website as well. And we'll start doing that. Anything else?
Thank you.
JR, that was.
Record timing.
That was record. That was.
Building inspector.
They were, right? That's off of Library Street. It's an alley.
Can we help you, Mark?
Let's see if I got it here. And that's what it looked like a week later.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I don't-
Did you rotate it?
But yeah, how do you spin all this? I have them spun on my computer.
Just turn the laptop. When JR was up here, he changed yours.
He did. I
I'm
got up here.
gonna sabotage him.
Hello.
There we go. Okay. There we go. Now you can see it in the back. That's what it looked like. The next week, this is on Adams Drive. They had a bunch of old vehicles there. It's about a week and a half later. They're all gone. Everything that's there is mobile now. This was their backyard. And since then, it's, no, this is, that's Dollar General. We had a bunch of plates on that. Finally got with the general manager in the Midwest. He got me connected to the guy that takes care of all the mowing. And they took care of it. It took them about a week and a half, but they got it. Once they took care of that, this is on Evansville Avenue. This is the backside of the property. This is the Dollar General. So that Thursday, I took a complaint over to these people. The lady was home. That's what it looked like Monday. They got right on it that weekend.
Did she believe that it was Dollar General or?
No, she knew it was hers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they knew it was theirs.
Okay.
Because there was actually the fence was actually broken down and laying over.
Okay.
So they took and repaired that. This is on Cypress Service. This is the house that got condemned on 319 North Library. These are some of the photos. They got a ordinance violation sent to them today. The neighbor on the left, you can see it's got two rows. There's actually two fences there. They're all built up. There's trees. This is from the back of the house. You can barely see the house. This is from the water tower. Some more. So this is a 250 poster hoggy. We've been mowing that for quite a while. We got 3 liens on the property. My envelope's on the door, and Brad's is right below it. It never has been moved. And the letter came back from the post office undeliverable to the address. So that's all I got on that. We did have my inspection sheets right here I had 20 new inspections. 2 of those I had to do 2 new construction re-inspections because they didn't have the yard graded, didn't have the drainage pile in. I had 11 rentals. 2 of those had to be re-inspected. 8 dumpster permits, which we've already got 5 this month now, so we might beat this month. Motor vehicle notices, that was one I had up there on Adams. And property violations, we had 9 total. There was more pictures in this, but I didn't want to bore it, but it was just pictures. So, then we had 1 ordinance violation ticket, and that was 250 Osterhage, and that's like the 3rd one they've had. So, and Jay already got on the power plant. I was down there today. They're open for concrete this week for maybe both of them, for the actual turbine and for the diesel tank storage area. That's going to be a lot of concrete. That's 3 foot thick in most parts of it. So, and Roberto already hit on the sheds out at Country Club. And one of them's waiting on a final, and the other one's working on their bathroom in the basement, so really about all I got. Any questions?
Was that 250 Osterhage or Hallmarker?
Osterhage.
Okay, because the envelope up there has Hallmarker on it. That's probably why it came back.
No, it is Hallmarker. Sorry about that.
Okay.
I got that wrong.
I was confused.
No, but
Okay.
Caitlin is on Hallmarker.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, Brad's envelope is still on the door, and I put mine up there. Plus, I got one mailed. So,
215 Hallmarker, 250 Hallmarker, 215 Osterhage.
okay. So, that's about all I got. But I got anything else?
Questions for Brad? Mark. Mark. Call him Brad. It's probably Brad for a long time.
Oh, what's his name?
Chief?
Oh, what's his name?
Oh, here, I got extra.
I had it on my computer, right?
More money.
More money?
More money.
Yeah, how'd you know?
I can smell it.
Oh, right there. Yeah, that's been on a couple times too. Yeah, they keep them. Yeah, we've been.
So as of a month or so ago, we finally got both shipments of our Taser 10s in, so we had 10 tasers, and then we were just waiting to certify the officers.
10 Taser 10s?
10 Taser 10s.
Okay.
For 10 officers. So they had to be certified first in order to use them, and our Taser instructors actually started dialing back there, and they were, over the course of 2 days, we got the 10 officers certified, and now they're implemented and are in use today. They haven't been used yet in the field, but they're carrying it, so I'll let you know when they use one. Hopefully it works well. As of last Friday, we started taking applications for police officer position. Our list had recently expired, so in order to maintain an eligibility list, we have to take applications. We'll be taking those till October 3rd. And then after that, the police commissioners will do their interviewing and testing and formulate a list for us to hire off of in the event that we have a spot available.
Currently, we have no spots available.
Currently, no spots available, but we would just need a list. The lister's usually good for 2 to 3 years. When need be, when the time arises, it arises. And then on the last note, I was going to propose possible purchase of a John Deere Gator for exclusive use by the police department. From time to time, we use the one that the city has. But it'd be nice to have one exclusive for the police department. I'd like to get it actually wrapped so it looks like a police vehicle, police lights on it. And this is something that I've figured we could use some of our asset forfeiture funds for. We've been gaining funds been going up, and we haven't used it for anything yet. So I just wanted to throw that out there to you guys, see what you guys thought about it.
How often would you use it?
We use it at the fair, so there's 7 days a year that we use it for the fair, and then we'd also like to use it like anytime there's a parade, and we have to set up for the parade route. We do all the no parking signs. We have to go hit all those poles all the way down the streets, the side streets, wherever the parade is on. And it'd also be something we could use for the festivals that are in town, like Firebird Fest or the Pumpkin Fest. And it'd be good, I think, PR to show up a police vehicle. Something we could get around with our guys that work, we could get around with.
So this was kind of a negotiation between Dane and myself when he brought it up, is that we have to use these funds for PD. They're restricted for that. That if in fact we did this now, then the next purchase that we made with those funds would be a new squad car. So the next time we need a squad car, it would come out of
that asset forfeiture.
As opposed to general budgetary fund?
Yep. I see what, out of general fund, because PD is always in the general fund, so.
Gary, I can tell you, a few years ago on one of the homecoming parades, we had one, we were using one of the cities, and we had midstream, we couldn't get a squad car or ambulance into the location. One of the people got ran over by one of the floats, and we were able to get a gator in there with a gurney on the back with 2 paramedics. Got him stabilized, got him on that gator, and we had to drive through yards to get it out, to get that person back to the ambulance. So that was one time we used it, but they were handy. You just get places squad car can't get necessarily. And it gets, when you got streets blocked off, you just can't move any vehicles. That's the way it is. People are sitting all over the place.
We currently, in doing a lot of stuff downtown, we are using an old pickup truck that has rust holes in the side.
We transitioned to use my truck from that. That's what we were using.
That's what you were using, so.
What type of budget are you looking at for this, chief, and what type of timeline?
Well, I don't really. So I went and met with Side Instructor Novi, and they quoted $22,955.75 for the 2026 model. And then I haven't got a quote yet on wrapping or the lights, but I'm figuring probably a couple, $2 to $4 grand probably for that stuff.
And that's all coverable?
Yeah, we have right now. We have 90,000 plus in that account.
And that money can only be used for law enforcement needs.
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm good with it.
Jim?
Absolutely. I like the idea of wrapping it so it looks official.
Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Bobby? Gary?
Yes.
Okay. Jordan?
Yes.
Everyone?
Yes.
I looked, I saw a number of these when, a couple of years ago when we were in Nashville, that when there were so many people involved, like we have, that these were stationed at every intersection in order to basically maintain crowds and actually they were pretty cool looking, PR-wise, with the Hillsborough police cars. I did initially, he had one priced out, that cost a little less than that did not have heat in it. Having ridden in our Gators Glow Parade when it's snowing and there's no heat and you're trying to resolve that, I figured a small amount of money in order to have order with heat would be valuable to get them relaxing. When you do air conditioning, you just have a lot to get settled.
Do without that.
Okay. I think we're good.
Okay. That's all I have, unless you guys have any questions about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't have any excitement to report it.
I hope not.
So the first document that I gave you guys is the schedule of Attachment A and Attachment B from the IEPA's, our official notice for our repayment for the water loan. It's already been, the water loan's been approved by you guys. That's our official repayment notice. The first payment's due on October the 1st. It shows on the Attachment B what the payment amount is. And I just wanted you guys to see that, so whenever you get the warrant for next month, you're not caught off guard by seeing that large payment on there out of the water funds.
I like the interest rate, 0.93%.
Anybody have any questions about that? If you'd like to see the whole notice from the IDPA, we can do that as well. The second document that I gave you is an ordinance about our the employees and the officials that are listed on for our liability insurance. When Tammy and I were going through the ordinances last week, whenever we were doing the ordinance update for the property committee and updating the committees, we noticed that there were 3 department heads that were not listed on the ordinance, even though the policy, our insurance policy does state that elected and appointed officials are covered. I would like to have the ordinance updated to reflect all of the people who are appointed. So it's the community relations director, the deputy director of public works, and the human resources coordinator are currently not listed on the ordinance. So.
Can you email us out an updated version and we can have an ordinance meeting for on next Monday night?
What about the deputy chief of police? Who has to act as a chief in the chief's
So
absence?
yes, Trent should probably be added. That should be added to it as well.
Perfect.
Anything else? That's all I have for tonight.
Thank you.
Really well. Tricia?
Okay, so updates for this month. Brad has officially started in his position as a fleet mechanic, and that was effective August 25th. So after training with Mark, he moved into that role, which is now a union position. We had a crossing guard opening, and we did hire that position. We hired Danny Songer, and he is at that really busy intersection by Zano, Hamacher, Rogers. He is in that busy section, doing really well. He started September 4th.
Seen him out there.
Yeah. So he said that he was amazed the number of people that do not observe the stop sign. He said, I had no idea the amount of people that will still turn when I'm in the middle of the road, or he said it's crazy, the number of people that ignore him. But he likes it, and he loves the kids. He says the kids are not the problem. The kids are wonderful. It's the drivers. So, but he's doing a great job. We have the sewer plant operator position. It was open to the public on August 21st, and today was the final day to submit applications. We've received 10 applicants that I will be forwarding to the personnel committee to review, so you guys will get those tomorrow. And then the underground position was also open to the public effective August 21st, and today at 4:30 was the final day to submit as well. And we've had 19 applications for the personnel committee to review for that position.
Did any of them apply for both?
Yes. So, yes. Some of the 10 are part of the 19. Yes. And then Dane spoke about the probationary police officer position. We did update that application that now when they're requesting it from me. They're turning it into me. Sherry used to handle that downstairs and the detectives, but now I'm going to take that portion over. So, and then last but not least, we have a flu shot clinic coming up for staff and their families here at City Hall on Tuesday, September 23rd from 1:30 to 4 on the second floor. They will be needing to bring their insurance card with them at St. Luke's that will be providing the service. They will bill their insurance, but they will be here on site for staff to get it done. So hopefully we can keep everybody healthy and working through flu season. Any questions for me?
Thanks, Trish.
Thank you. Derek?
I don't have a ton to report, but I did hand out a list of upcoming events, as I always do, so you can save the date for any of those. A couple to take note. The ribbon cutting for Site Instructor Novi, along with the Chamber, is next week, September 18th. So if you wish to join us for that, that's at 3 o'clock. And then in the spring, you may remember we hosted an iCash event with the State Treasurer's Office. We had a lot of people that took advantage of that. So we agreed to have another one this fall, and that is already here. September 24th, 3 to 6 p.m. here at Waterloo City Hall. The State Treasurer's Office will be back to meet with residents that come for that. And then also October 11th, the big one, Pumpkin Fest. That's been majority of my time being spent since it's only about a month away. We are completely sold out of the vendor spaces. We've been for a few weeks now. The planning is going well. We have a lot of the same entertainment, some new stuff too. We did hear from SPPS Booster Club that they will not be hosting the 5K this year. I did reach out to the Optimist Club to see if they would like to have it, since they always had theirs paired with the homecoming, but they already had their date set for this year. So it was too late to switch that with the company that they hired to do the timing. So they are going to discuss and hopefully have that for us, and that way they can get the runners that normally do Pumpkin Fest and the ones that join them and combine it and have a great turnout. So we'll wait to hear from them for next year. If they don't want to do that, then we'll find another organization. We just will have 1 year lapse. Hopefully we'll bring it back next year. So SPPS just said the last couple of years they haven't been able to get the volunteers that they need to host it. So that is going to be one thing different this year. And then the last thing, I did pass around the volunteer registration form, so thank you in advance for helping out. It really is a all hands on deck event, and I appreciate everybody helping. So, and then the last thing, this is tentative, but it's pretty set in stone. I'm just waiting for a final on our Veterans Day program this year. Because it falls on a Tuesday, we're looking to have it the Monday night before. The school is always closed on Veterans Day itself, so they're not going to open and have custodial staff come in just for the program, so we have to work around their closed schedule. Obviously, we don't want to do it the Friday night before. That's a little bit too far in advance, so we're looking at the 10th, the Monday, which means that this meeting will then be on the Wednesday after. So that's what we're looking to do. It's pretty set in stone. I'm just waiting for the final okay. So just so you know, that'll be November. It'll kind of alter this meeting for November because we'll be out at the Veterans Day program when we are typically having this meeting. So that's all I have for tonight, unless anybody has any questions.
In terms of AO Creative, actually.
Yeah, so they started, AO Creative started up last week. Everything's going really well. I'm very impressed with what they've done for us so far. They've integrated very seamlessly with our social presence, and once we get the website up, which I've still been working with 618 on that, then they'll start the SEO portion of the agreement and the work that they are going to do for us. But so far, so good. I'm really impressed with what they're putting out for us. So.
If you notice that difference out there on our Facebook page.
Yeah, a lot of the videos that it's all them doing that. So it's being received very well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else?
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
I do not have anything this week. I'm going to get it for you after the meeting, but that's it.
Okay. Actually, I don't really have any much of anything. So, Monroe County Startup requested a couple of weeks ago for a meeting space, and they normally meet 7:15 in the morning until about an hour and a half. I offered this room upstairs, and for them to use that. They started today, and Nate actually is the one that comes in and unlocks the doors for them, and then they're here until we would normally open the doors at 8 o'clock. I didn't get any feedback from them this morning, but I'm assuming that things went well. The committee reports, August 18, 25, beautification.
Okay. We're doing the beautification?
Yeah. You got a motion?
You got a motion?
Got a motion?
And I'll second.
Great, thank you. See, the system works. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Things are going really well, aren't they? September 2nd, 25 Finance Committee meeting minutes.
Make a motion.
To approve. Chair.
Joel, he's not here.
Okay. You're staying in, okay.
Second.
Second.
No.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
And September 2nd, ordinance committee meeting.
Ordinance committee meeting minutes, need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Riley and then Mr. Trantham, all in favor?
Aye.
Approved.
Great. Number 15, comments. Hobby.
No, nothing.
Okay. Pretty definite. Matt?
Let's go home. Oh!
There it is.
Hey, take some muffins home to the kids.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Jim?
I have a question on Market Street, I guess across from Waterloo Automotive or somewhere in that area. There's two houses and there's a concrete wall.
Yeah.
In between them is, what is that short wall?
Well,
I've had a couple of people ask me and
he's just put it up for a divider. He's gonna eventually put a driveway there. Because right now he's using the driveway to the south, which goes to the house behind him to get to his. So he's gotta get with the state to be able to access the road from there. So he's gonna put stone, block it, put stone around it, put 3 lights on top of it. Nate took care of that.
I had a question, somebody called me, wanted to know if that was legal by city ordinance, can they do that? It just looked odd with a concrete wall there. I
Yeah.
went by and looked at him like, yeah, I didn't even notice they put it up.
Yeah, I went before I became inspector. I went by, I was watching for the footage. I couldn't figure out what they're doing, but they've got electricity run through it. He's gonna run it to the front yard. He's gonna have an antique 3-post light. He's gonna have put up there, but eventually he's gonna have a driveway coming in there because he's got 4 kids, and he said I gotta have a place for cars when they get old enough to drive.
Okay, I'll let this person know, thank you.
Okay,
That's all I have, thank you.
It did look odd, though. The footing was there for a long time.
was there a long time.
Before they actually
Yeah.
did the covering work. Cal?
Norton here.
Here. Thank you very much, and I will have a motion to dismiss.
So moved.
A second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
7:15, we got to break.
Really? Really? That's good.